Hello and welcome to Geek at Play Studio tutorial. Let's continue looking on the function editor. So we'll open our materials and we'll go to function editor. And in this tutorial, let's look on actually constant. We look before on our function, if you remember, on the filters. So and right now let's look on a constant. By default, the constant node will create it to most of your filters or to your color nodes, and constant, it just allowed you to input value, so you can by slide or type in. Also, you have a different type of the constant color, texture, and vector. They represent different type of the connections. So if you need it, you can create another constant here, and in this case, when we connect color, that will be connected by a constant number, okay, or a constant color. So we can select the color, which one you want it, and just assign this color to our node. So the constant, they're kind of very simple and easy to understand them. Let's go to our next. The turbulence, we come back in the next tutorial. Let's right now looking on the combiner, and we're actually using combiner quite a bit. Almost every time we're creating something, what it does is allowed us mix it or different colors, or allowed us mix a different type of bump or terrain. And as example, let's create, for example, we have it one noise and we have it one fractal node. Let's open colors, and for example, if we add noise to our color, but we want to add a little bit more details, maybe with a fractal. To do this, we'll just select our link, we'll click on combiner. By default, it will select the blender, and we'll on a blender go and connect to another node. Okay, so let's decrease this one, and you will notice how, okay, let me bring this a little bit up. You notice how our blender mix them together. You also have a radio show, it's which one what more apply, for example, more towards noise or more towards fractal. The radio is also controlled by function, so if you want, you can create additional node and connect to this. In that case, your radio will manage by function. In combination node, you have an add, blend, which is we're using right now, add with one value, add to another one, max, select the maximum, minimum, subtract and multiply in the exactly same function as in another place. So next we have a combiner, and what it does, if blender uses two type of inputs, combiner is actually, as soon when you add one more, it will have it another one and another, so you actually can have it a lot of them connecting. So when you create one, you have one more available, and your inputs will display here every time when you add, where you can specify what is amplitude you want and how much offset from the one, from 0, -1 or 1 you want to this. All these values as well you can just type in, so you don't need go just to the 10, you can type bigger value if you want it, but normally you actually don't need to do this. And in combine mode, you have the same things, blend, variable roughness, similar to filter, and actually all this is very similar to what we saw before. All these options, multiply, add, minimum or maximum, depend how you select it. Okay, let's go now select color combiner. Even you see the output, but this will accept the green, will accept only colors. So if you have a different color, you can actually create and use it combiner similar to other one. And because it's not Blender, every time when you create new, you will have a new connection will appear, so you can connect more colors. And you can same select by multiple add, subtract, multiply. You will have a little bit more red, green filter. That is will represent a little bit more to the color options. And let me put a little bit up so we can see more. And you have it more here, saturation, luminosity, hues, and slow blend. And those ones, they are all related to the color. Okay, now let's clean up a little bit this mess. Okay, so let's reset our stuff. And okay, move right here. Okay, I'll put combine right here. Next is a add, and actually what this add does, it's a have a sum of all input. The subtract, it will take first input and subtract every other one from this. So okay, let's actually I don't need this, I need color. We'll select one color, and if we add additional, this will what we'll do, it will subtract this one from that. But because it's not color, it's actually convert to the numbers. Probably best if we look at this on creating terrain or other place. Multiply, same, it will multiply colors, and divide will divide from first input number or color or other things in this combiner. Okay, this is all about combiners. Math nodes, those actually doesn't use the very often. Okay, and sometimes we will use them when we create terrain and try apply additional options or in turbulence, but overall we don't use them often. Then again, you can select and just add or replace here, and overall you have conversions. Vector operation, it's when we work with directions or other things. Arc, floor, fractional, invert, power, square, multiply, and those ones we won't look in this tutorial because they're just straightforward math functions, and it's better if we look maybe some other tutorial when we can practically use them, or we'll see how we can use them. Let's look at this tutorial on the turbulence. So we'll go edit function, and if you create the turbulence, what's happening, you sometimes say, okay, I want to connect, but the turbulence will connect only to the vector because it's how it provide output as a vector. And to connect properly to this, let's create fractal noise. Okay. We'll just zoom slightly in, and what we're going to do, you can actually connect wavelengths or origin, but wavelengths doesn't give you, let's give you very rough kind of looking effect. I'd recommend connect by origin right here. And also what is happening when we apply, you can see it's the turbulence, it's a similar to actually fractal node. It's only instead 2-dimensional work and the 3, and it's provide displacement for the vector. So you can notice it will create very interesting kind of effect. So let me see if I can bring this a little bit more. And you can see right here how we have a very nice twisting applied to our bump material. And you can see already how you can apply this to the rocks or other object. Also, if we create terrain, so go to fractal terrain. So it's a bitmap this way, but let's right now right click and go to edit object. We also can apply to altitude projection. So let's edit. Same we go, we'll create turbulence. And we go to connect origin to this. It's a harmonic. You can see the terrain is actually have a very interesting apply effect, very twisty kind of effect, and very realistic looking. Okay, have it like this. Click OK. Let's take our camera, move slightly above, slow down. Okay, we'll go to render to screen 640. And you can see how the turbulence add this line twist kind of effect to the terrain or the bump. You also can apply it to the color if you wanted to add this effect. Clouds will look very interesting when you apply turbulence to them. And if you look on the turbulence right now, so let's go to edit object. So in turbulence, what you have it's your similar to other wavelengths or origin, larger features, amplitude, harmonic scales, and repeated. What repeated does is take a durations and combine and edit more of them. So and again, you can type in if you want more than 10. Example, so we can add more, which doesn't process well. Okay, we'll just leave it default. And combine mode, it's very similar to every other one: blend, variable, maximum, minimum, and absolute on this, or multiply. So depend how you like it. Okay, simple turbulence, V4 style turbulence for the legacy with older version of the view. And advanced turbulence, what we have it here now, we have it roughness, and we also have it vortex that you can add based on the type of noise. Example, you can see with vortex, without, so you can see how they applied. Let's go back to our simple. Just apply a little bit more harmonics. In some cases, you can almost spend days literally just playing and create additional terrain that you like it more on this one. Okay, and this kind of all what I want to show you with the functions. We will probably create a couple more tutorials to look on a practical use. We'll just create maybe some terrains with used over the options what we look on the function editor. But mainly things what I very highly suggest for you, you just start playing, start opening, creating, and apply different type of the noise filters and function. Okay, and thank you for watching this tutorial from Geek@Play Studio. Please come visit us on the web at www.geekatplay.com.